Hello. One of the benefits of getting old is that you start seeing the repetition of patterns in human history. And more important, you see the repetition of the same mistakes being made over and over again and again. And what I want to do today is use some of the lessons I learned in a previous technology revolution, the adoption of the internet, and bring that to today to help you understand what you need to do, right, to plan your career progression in a world that's going to be disrupted by future technology, AI and advanced robotics being the two most prominent today. So let's go for it. And then I'm going to have three principles and one action item for you at the end. In 1993, I was very lucky and privileged to be very close to the community, the group of people who started the internet revolution. And at that time, it was very easy for smart people, right, to look at the potential of technology and imagine a world where you would wake up in the morning, your alarm clock is internet connected, it would tell you the weather forecast for the day and preview your meeting schedule for the day as you wake up. And then you would drive your car, and the car would be connected to the GPS system and would drive you wherever you want to go. You go to the office and you have all these internet connected cloud tools that help you do your work. And then you leave the office, you use the internet to socialize, use the internet to acquire new knowledge, use the internet to share experience, to get the news, to understand how the world works, right? And if you realize, we are living this life today, right? So 35 years later, the internet has permeated every aspect of our lives, has changed the way we do things, and kind of became invisible, right? We don't realize how important the internet technologies, right, born 35 years ago, how they have been influential in changing the way we live our lives. And we are still here. We don't see the technology anymore, and we don't perceive, right, the level of transformation that happened over the 30 years. And I think AI is going to be the same. AI is a different technology. They might have different impact, but the adoption, the pattern of adoption is going to be similar in the sense that we are going to get too excited and we are going to say in 2 or 3 years everything is going to change, and in reality it's going to take a much longer period of time because there are technology challenges, right? The technology might not be ready. There are social challenges. People are going to resist the adoption of new technologies. There are legal regulation challenges in adopting technologies everywhere. So we are going to need a long time to overcome those obstacles. And the same is going to happen with AI. The same is going to happen with robotics. So with that, what are the three principles, right? I think number one is become AI literate, meaning you need to understand the technology, right? You need to understand the basics of what AI really is. AI is a large language model, which is a model that has been trained with all the human knowledge expressed in text. And if we believe that a good portion of the human knowledge has been expressed in text, then large language models are a good approximation of human knowledge, of our understanding of the universe. And LLM is a tool that can make all this knowledge available to each of us in real time, right? So it's a great tool, it's an amazing tool that has the potential to help us to be much better, much more knowledgeable, right? And make life easier for everyone. So you need to embrace it instead of resisting it or ignoring it, right? Be the first one to understand the technology. Be the first one to understand how the technology can be applied in your field, and be the first one to obtain, right, to receive the benefits of the adoption of the technology, and you're going to be better positioned to help to guide the technology, how technology is used in society. And so, number one principle, understand and embrace the technology. Principle number two, Everyone is telling you in 2 or 3 years everything is going to be different. Don't believe in that, right? AI is going to come. AI is going to change your lives. It's not going to happen in 2 3 years. And in 1 year, when people start telling you AI is not going to change your lives, right, because the technology is a fad, don't believe them. AI will come and eventually will change your lives, but it's going to happen over the next 20, the next 30 years. So professional career, right, your professional trajectory is a lifetime project. You're born in the context of where you're born. You learn in school. You learn from your parents. You learn from society. You develop your preferences. You develop your skills. You pick one area to dedicate your professional life to, right? You make decisions, education, finding jobs. And that trajectory, right? They can have discontinuities, but you should not make dramatic changes based on fear or based on bad assumptions, right? So you, let's say, you grow up and thinking and decided and eventually selected you want to be a computer scientist, right? You want to work with computer technology. And then you hear someone saying LLMs can write code. In 2 3 years, there won't be any software developer. And you decide, I'm going to have to find a new career, right? It, it doesn't work like that, right? You might make changes in your career, but not because you are afraid of the impact of AI, not because you think the impact of AI will happen in 2 3 years. Those are mistakes. Those are bad assumptions, right? Yes, it is true. If you're a software developer, you spend all your time doing cut and paste of existing code, your job is not going to exist in 10 years, right? If you're a lawyer, all you do is to compare contracts and redline contracts. LLMs can do that very well. Your job is not going to exist in 10 years, right? If you're a doctor, you spend your time looking at some image, trying to detect patterns that lead to a diagnostic. LLMs can do that very well. You're gonna lose your job in the next 10 years, right? If you're a truck driver, you're driving long haul truck, moving things from here to there. AI can probably do your job in a few years, right? So yes, there will be changes in the job market, but that doesn't mean we don't need computer scientists, we don't need doctors, we don't need lawyers, we don't need truck drivers. Those careers will still exist. The type of thing you do, right, the day-to-day tasks you perform are going to change because there will be tools that help you do that better, faster, more effectively, right? So principle number 2, do not make dramatic changes to your trajectory because you're afraid of something, because you're afraid of new technology. And the number 3 principle comes from the other two, is be optimistic, right? Technology comes, technology will come. No single person can prevent the adoption of technology. So you better believe, right, that the technology will be applied in positive ways. Yes, AI can be dangerous the same way TV, radio, the internet, fire can be used in positive and negative ways. Electricity, railroads, right? AI presents some challenges and some risks. But as a species, right, humans have been very good at adopting technology, continue to find a niche, and not losing control over it. We don't know if that's gonna be what this is what's gonna happen, but we're always better if we are optimistic and we embrace technology. We have a realistic view on its adoption, and we make everything we can to make a good use of technology in human life. So those are the 3 principles. Again, if you're coming for prescriptive things of what to do, I think it's important to understand that, right? The macro first before you start making tactical decisions. But I'm going to give you one action item. Whatever careers you are exploring at the moment, talk to someone who has several years of experience ahead of us, ahead of you, right? Just set an informational interview with them. Say, I would like to talk a little bit about career development. I would like to use your experience to guide the decisions I make, and ask them, are you seeing adoption of AI and robotics in our space, right? What are the consequences? Which technology should I pay attention to, right? Which tools should I pay attention to? And you can ask someone who is actually living your career, right, several years ahead of you, and you can see what they are seeing, and you can make directional adjustments, right, on where you spend your time in terms of acquiring experience and skills. So if you're thinking about computer science, right, talk to someone who is in computer science, in more mature in their career, and ask them, what's the impact of AI, right? What should I do, right? If you are planning to pursue a career in law, talk to a experienced lawyer and say, hey, what about AI being able to review contracts? And they're going to say, that's great. I don't want to be reviewing contracts. I have more important things to do, right? If you're planning to go into medicine, talk to a doctor, asking them, how is AI affecting diagnostics of diseases, and what are the technologies or the tools or the companies I should watch, right? So take that action today, right? Identify someone in your life, someone you have access to, who is at a later stage in the career you plan to develop, and have a conversation about AI. You're going to learn a lot, and you might be able to actually teach them a lot, and that's how life goes, right? You are not afraid, you're not avoiding or preventing evolution of technology. You need to embrace it, be smart about it, and take the positives about all that. And if you like that discussion, please share and subscribe to this channel. And I see you in the next episode of Careerscast. Bye.